Hello and welcome to the Pixelated Realms Gamescast, your guide through the digital landscape, unlocking the latest and greatest in video game fun. I'm your host, Tyler Salerno, and alongside me, as always, is my co-host, Alex and Dustin. How are you guys doing today?
What's up? Another
Hey,
good
all
day in
right.
gaming.
Yes, lots coming up. GamesCon is coming up, some controversies coming up, and we're going to talk about it. So, let's dive right into it.
Let's do it.
So, getting started, I guess we'll as a little hook, we're gonna get started with this Roblox news. If you saw the short released, please check it out if you haven't. There is a recent lawsuit. Louisiana Attorney General, let me get the name, Liz Murrill, has sent us a suit against Roblox because essentially they are being accused of negligence in preventing sexual predatory behavior towards children. It's a pretty big deal. In that Roblox is a huge financial cornerstone in gaming for kids under the age of 16, and it seems to be sparking other interest in states creating more lawsuits. So I don't know, what do you guys think about this?
Crazy. By the way, Dustin, you're echoing, so I muted you for a second there. I can hear me, I can hear Tyler. Rip. But so yeah, I'm surprised that Roblox hasn't been doing more. Because I'm gonna mute you again. Because they're just the way that they're handling it is very strange to me. So I have nothing against the platform itself. Kids love it. It's very fun for them. Because their main demographic is children. What was that?
Well, that was
um,
one of my lights.
he just lost it. Is
Yeah.
children, they have a responsibility to curate, the content and everything that they have, including people that are trying to take advantage of children. So the fact that they're kind of sticking their heads in the ground is very surprising to me. And I haven't verified this, so I don't know if this is true, but I saw somewhere online that they're considering creating a dating app for kids
Oh my gosh,
for between
what?
the ages of 16 and 20 or something like that. And so I'm like, okay, so that's a bad look.
Yeah.
On top of this predator stuff, which it is, it's known as okay, actually some context, right? So for those that don't know, other than what Tyler had just said, was that Roblox it's like a game within a game, right? You can build games in it, and kids play those games, and it's designed and aimed towards children. Everything looks kid friendly. And then but adults will go in there pretending to be kids and groom children and try and lure them places. So it's bad, and it's really bad. It happens all the time. It's not even a once in a whenever thing. It's this has been happening multiple times, so much so that there's lawsuits and things about it.
Yeah. There's additional lawsuits in Georgia, Michigan, and California that are alleging grooming and exploitation. So
Yeah.
their system has been under scrutiny for a long time, and it's kind of coming to a head right now, which is pretty significant, if you ask me.
Yeah.
I didn't
No,
hear
they should
everything
do
Alex
something about
said,
it.
but it doesn't matter
I
what
said
Alex
that
said
Roblox has a
because
responsibility.
exactly that's why what you said doesn't matter. I am totally on the other side of it. I do think there is some level of responsibility, but no more than what any game creator does. I think age verification, obviously, but I mean, there's tons of games that are chat heavy games. I do agree that it skews younger, but I think to some degree
Well, there
that's for
does it change
parents.
your mind knowing that their target demographic is 8-year-olds? That is what they specifically try for. It's not oh, hey, we have a bunch of kids. That's just what we happen to get. That's actually where they're aiming. Does that change your idea at all?
Not really, because again, you're putting the systems in place. Parents need to be aware of the dangers of online gaming in that regard, of letting their kids play a game that is geared towards community, a game that is now known and has been known for a long time, of attracting people like this. So I mean, I'd be
Would you
curious
let
to
your
know,
kids play with Roblox? I mean, because you're not gonna be able to sit there with them forever. At some point they're gonna be sneaky and go on it without you. Kids are, you have to know that kids are do that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
especially as they get
definitely.
older.
And there's also ways like for computers to like put on like tracking software of what your kids are doing. And of course, like it's probably very difficult to sit there and watch 4 straight hours of Roblox to see who your kid is chatting with, But
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, Roblox did respond and they're, obviously providing tightening on like their restrictions and like apparently they have systems that like can detect if someone's lying about their age, which, you know, is interesting, but apparently like,
Yeah, YouTube
critics
is
were
doing that
saying that it's
too.
just not even close to enough. So, it's still like a really serious like issue.
I just don't know so my 8-year-old, when I have one, isn't going to go meet up with a random ass stranger on their own. Like they can't drive, they can't go anywhere, right? So I'm not that worried about that age. Now, like teenagers, sure, that becomes more troublesome because now your kid probably has a cell phone. Again, there are ways parents can track their kids. There's ways that you can give phones that, only have approved numbers. There are things that can be done if you feel like it's necessary. But once you get to teenagers, there's a million different ways that could be happening. So do you just
Mhm.
not let your kid use the internet at that point? Like,
Well, it's tough because I mean I've been reading a lot of books lately about this because I have kids and you have kids, but it's like how do you do that? Because parents are under protecting their children online, but it's like it's like okay, but what do you do about it? Like how do you stop them from doing that without just sitting over their shoulder or without installing a ton of like super you know sketchy parental control apps?
yeah, because what about Discord? What about Steam friends? Having friends on Steam that you're gaming with. What about a game like World of Warcraft where you're in guilds and it's very, very community oriented, like becoming friends? I have lots of friends that are real life friends of people they met on World of Warcraft, So where does it stop?
Totally, but
And where does the responsibility shift from game makers? It's like
well,
the same thing. Should every car have a chip in it that the car can't go over the
should
speed
every car have
limit?
a seatbelt?
Well, I'm saying, but should every car have something that doesn't let you go over the speed limit because some people speed, and crash? Like,
If it was the number one killer of people driving cars, then yes, but it's not, right? So like it depends on the situation and like kind of the data, I'd say. And in this case, it's like you were saying Discord and Steam. Those you should certainly have safeguards and talks with your kids and like about like making sure that they have good online practices and that they're safe and all these things. But if you were like, hey, this place is more like a physical location, hey, there's this pizza place down the street, we know that there's like creepers there, two kids have already been like groomed and shit there, you wouldn't send them there, right? Like it's kind of different than if you were like, oh, this place doesn't it has the same possible, like some other place has the same possibility of it happening, but it wasn't known to happen yet, right?
yeah,
So it's like
but
you still got to take precautions, but it's like different.
it would be like saying, hey, this pizza place down at the corner typically has, sometimes has shady people there. And then parents sends their kids there and then they get
Yeah,
in a
let's say
fight
like
out
there's like
front,
known
but
drug dealers.
then you sue the restaurant because they didn't have a security guard there to protect your child from the big baddie who was inside. And like granted, like if you got like your
But I
ass kicked at
would
a restaurant, you might actually get.
sue the shit out of them. Like if something happened to my kid on their property, I would expect them to have some kind of like, I mean, I obviously there's
But
now
there
our
can't be a
metaphors get a
security
little.
guard everywhere. That's the thing. Like you can't have a security guard. I mean, this is now like getting into like something as crazy as like, should every school have metal detectors and armed security because there's a school shooting at once a year or twice a year? Like there's the whole world. Every school in the United States now have to implement these safety rules because of the one-off thing.
if that school was known for having like gun traffic, yeah,
I
it
mean, there's
depends on the
plenty of schools
situation.
in bad areas in like, different parts of the country, like Los Angeles and that, where there's, known gang members or drug dealers or things like that. And you still don't have that level of
Mm,
policing.
well, that's why they're having fucking, well, not probably not the only reason, but
Yeah. But when has there been a
it's
school
a
shooting
reason.
there? There hasn't, that we've heard of. I mean, most of these are happening in like weird parts of the country that by like some angry white kid.
Yeah, I don't know if
I
that
don't know.
still
My
holds
my
up, but
my
I mean,
point is
I think our metaphors
simply
get a little out of hand.
my
But
point is simply that I think it's a very slippery slope if you hold Roblox overly accountable for things that are happening on their platform, especially if they have things in place to try to stop them and people are purposely going
well,
around them.
let's take the ethics out of it. Just from a business standpoint, it's bad business to have people
It'd be
that
a
are going to
hub
scare
for
away
predators. Yeah.
that are going to scare away your clientele.
Clearly not,
So
though,
like,
because they're rich as shit. So it's not enough
but
to actually
I
scare
mean,
people away.
yeah, until parents start hearing these stories and they start losing.
Until a state sues you and other
Yeah,
states sue you, I mean, seems like it's pretty serious if an attorney general of a
I mean,
state is suing you.
I know so many parents who are like, "Oh, my kid's never playing Roblox because, like, and it's like a lot of ignorant parents, go ahead and let them do stuff, or parents that just aren't tech savvy, or kids that go behind their back. You can't stop any of that stuff. But but they're like losing a whole section of the market because people simply are scared of having their kid talked to by a creep.
I mean, like I said, there's social media. Yeah, this lawsuit means nothing to me because it's no different to me than some dumbass senator who's like, video games are the reason people shoot people with guns. So now I'm going to sue Electronic Arts because this person played Battlefield and went on a school shooting rampage. So it's obviously Battlefield's fault and not the parents or anything else.
Well, what about
Another
like,
thing to add to this is 100,000 signature petition has been started to have the CEO resign, David Bazuki.
mm,
I guess, yeah. So people are accusing Roblox of failing to protect children from exploitation and harm. People have cited many systemic safety failures, and they blame the CEO for this.
I mean,
yeah,
again,
like
no different than
my
a bunch of fucking parents signing shit
Hold up.
saying Kiss.
Should we
Kiss
bring up?
music is going to make my kid worship the devil. So we should ban Kiss.
Should we bring up YouTuber Schlepp?
the
So, like
thing,
the YouTuber Schlepp, who is a self-described predator hunter and claims to have facilitated 6 arrests of alleged predators targeting minors on Roblox. He was recently banned from the game,
yeah, for being a vigilante.
Or was it?
essentially.
Or is it because
that was
he's
the reason.
pretending to be somebody he's not and faking his?
No, he's just on there as himself. I think he streams it, and then he finds people who are trying, because he was groomed as a child. So he then devoted his time to catching these people because he was a victim. And so, but they banned him, even though he just reports people, he doesn't take any action. They banned him for reporting people to the police, I guess. The quote was that he was being a vigilante.
Well, the other
don't
side
know.
of the story is that somehow the journalist Chris Hansen from To Catch a Predator, most famously from To Catch a Predator, is putting increasing pressure on the company to address the child safety concerns. So, once Chris Hansen is involved, I don't know, man. That seems like it puts some credibility behind this
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely people who are predators who are going to go to areas that have children present where they could potentially manipulate them. That's I'm not denying that by any means.
Do you think that, so there's precedent for this in other games? So cheaters, they are a player base that is negatively affecting your current players. This predator situation to me is akin to the same thing. Yeah, it's the severity of it is significantly
Significantly
different, but
worse.
idea is the same. Okay, we have a group of people that are doing bad things that are and so what do companies do? They spend millions of dollars making these anti-cheat systems so players don't get scared away. This one's even worse, and they aren't doing shit.
I mean, it sounds like they're doing stuff, just that they don't think it's enough stuff. And we know
Yeah, they
that
just don't think it's
from
enough.
cheating in video games, it's extremely difficult to actually rid a game of all cheaters, because there's always new loopholes and ways people are finding to get around the systems that are put in place to protect the user, right? So, I mean,
Yeah, I
totally.
mean, you're not wrong there, right? In the fact that you can't like, there's no, just like cheating, like you said, there's no way to like properly mitigate this like entirely. But I'm curious to see what happens with this lawsuit.
yeah. Again, like I said, I just think it's a
Well,
slippery slope if
they're
you start
probably gonna settle.
suing game studios. And well, how do you settle that though? Like, it's not really like it's not really like a monetary thing, right? It's like a
They're
stop
gonna probably do a
this.
class action lawsuit, and they're just gonna bunch of people are gonna give him money, or
But
they're
that's
gonna give people money.
civil lawsuit though by consumers. This is like a lawsuit by the government saying that this needs to change, right? So this is like a
Uh,
like a
yeah, that I don't
like
know.
I don't know
I mean, like they
what the
could block
consequences.
Roblox in Louisiana. I don't
Yeah,
know. Like that's a very possible.
could ban the game there potentially.
That's true. No idea.
I wonder if they could be
Although
held
their their
criminally.
spokesperson said, "Go ahead." Oh, I was just, we dedicate substantial resources, including advanced technology and 24/7 human moderation, to help detect and to prevent inappropriate content and behavior, including attempts to direct users off platform where safety standards and moderation may be less stringent than ours. I mean, it does sound like they're doing something. So,
That's also
I
kind
mean,
of
yeah,
weird. That's a super weird thing to
very
put at
PR.
the end. No, that's legal. That's legal right there. Like, because
What was
Where
the
safety standards and moderation may be less stringent than ours.
yeah, why the fuck would you be like if you want to talk, go do it somewhere else?
Yeah,
Like that's literally what that means, right? It's like, oh,
Well, no, no, no.
don't do
They're
it here,
saying
but
they're
I-
explicitly saying they're looking for people who are asking these children to get off the platform to communicate
they're trying to
outside
keep
the
'em
platform.
okay. So
on
I
Yeah,
it.
they're
misunderstood.
trying to keep them on the platform so they, yeah.
Yeah, well,
That's the
it's
point.
still legal. Like lawyers, like a team of fucking lawyers read that statement before that was showing up. A PR
Yeah,
person might have wrote it, but a legal person approved it.
yeah. I mean, it says in July, Roblox announced a new age verification system, which includes an age estimation tool based on a selfie-style video for users who want to chat back and forth with so-called trusted connection. Kind of sounds like, reminds me of like
That's kind of weird.
I mean, but I don't understand what the
Toontown.
age verification even does. So what if you say you're 40, and then like the other person, like unless it like
Yeah,
bans
does
your
I mean, it
limit
uses
you?
a AI age estimation tool based on a selfie.
But I
Well,
mean,
that's
but what does that?
brand new,
But
by
what
the way,
does
because
that do
that's
though?
YouTube is doing that too now.
I just said that it was in July. Yeah.
So, like unless they're gonna like put the person's age next to their username in the game, that doesn't really protect anyone just because you know
Maybe
their actual age.
maybe they don't let
Unless
people
maybe,
with a great distance,
well, it could be something
a
of like
big difference,
someone's like
chat.
talking to someone. Oh yeah, I'm 12 too, and I live in Missouri, but like their age verification thing is like they're
It's
actually
like
40. That like Roblox AI will like pick that up in the chat and be like, oh no, this person is claiming to be younger than what we verify them to be.
this guy is lying to you.
Man, I'm looking at some more details on this. The court documents also cited some games with titles like Survive Diddy and Escape to Epstein Island.
Games
God.
on the platform. Well, yeah, because it's all
Games that were created on the platform.
it's all
yeah.
UGC.
Oh, that's a
Like Roblox
That
is
is,
all UGC. So you know what? There's got to be something also. Like Roblox isn't stupid, right? There's got to be something in the terms of that like basically makes it so that I can't be held responsible for things on the platform. But I think the only way you
Yeah.
could get around that, because thank you, Liar Liar, the movie, by the way, for this. I don't know if it's true. I'm assuming it is. Like minors can't enter a legal binding contract, even if they lie about their age.
sign something.
Like it doesn't matter, right? Like if I'm saying, oh, I'm 19, but I'm actually 15. Like it doesn't matter that I lied. The contract is void, right? So, it could be like you can't ask an 8-year-old to agree to your terms of service because they're not an adult and they can't.
I wonder if you have to have like a parent or something like create the account for you, and then they have like I don't know. I've downloaded it one time just to see what it was about, and then I deleted it. So I don't
When
even
you were
know, but-
interviewing there,
Yeah, I know. Definitely can't work there now.
So
And they're like,
fucking
"Hey, we
hot
heard
with this
this."
light on my face. Dying.
But
Yeah, it says that these games are often filled with sexually explicit material and simulated sexual activities, such as I can't even say it. A recent report even revealed a group of 3,000 members openly trading child pornography and soliciting sexual acts from minors. I mean, it's definitely like sounds like it's a meeting place for these pervasive
Well, there was
people, which
also
is
that
pretty
whole
terrible.
sex server on World of Warcraft that was like known.
I've never heard of that.
You've never
what?
heard of that? They used
No.
to meet at the
Like,
inn outside fucking Stormwind, and it was like a known thing that like shit got crazy there. You can Google. There's
I had no
articles about it.
idea.
There's like a Polygon article or Kotaku article all about it.
Interesting.
yeah.
All
I
right.
mean,
Well, I guess
yeah.
go ahead.
Nah, I've talked too much.
Well, enough of that now. Roblox, we'll see what happens. Luckily, none of us really care about that game, so
Well,
we'll
Roblox also has more money than the government, so you know they're
yeah.
gonna have some
They
crazy
I don't
lawyers.
they're
Well,
big
especially right
big
now.
video game, yeah. So we'll see. Moving on though, I think let's talk about GamesCon that's happening this week. There's going to be some streams. I'll try my best, but I actually have to work a lot this week, so I probably won't be able to live stream like reactions to any of the stuff that's going on. But we have some big game announcements coming, and I'm excited about some potentially good games. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, opening night live starts tomorrow at
Probably
8
I think it was
today or
p.m.
evening.
5:30.
Yeah, 8 p.m.
Oh yeah.
Local in Cologne, so 11 a.m. here. It looks like on the West Coast. Yeah, that good old midday fucking stream for us Americans, which is great for all of us who work. But yeah, I mean, it'll be cool. I mean, I don't know, Keely's stuff. It costs a lot of money to be a part of the Keely press conferences.
Yeah.
So it's like really tricky because like the big guys typically don't have to pay, but then the lower guys do, and it's like
Yeah.
$50,000,
The reverse.
$75,000 or something like that for like 30 seconds, or I don't know the exact amount of time, but I know it's like very close to six figures to like buy in for these events.
Yeah.
Shit is rough, you know. So I'll be curious to kind of see what it looks like tomorrow. How many big games are in there? How many small games? I think, like, frankly, I thought the E3 press conference was pretty, or not E3, but you know, Summer Games Fest press conference was just okay this past year. So, but you know, hoping for some good stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, personally, I'd love to see Sony participate and show something around Ghost of Yotai. I don't know. Is there going to be a Sony? What the hell is Sony's called?
Yes, there's going to be a Sony part of it. We're likely going to see Ghost of Yotai. We're likely going to see Resident Evil Requiem stuff.
Yeah, I'm so
Hopefully,
excited
the
for that.
release. Yeah,
Love
so
Resident Evil.
we should see some of the Outer Wilds too, which I think honestly is probably going to be better than
Outer
the first
Worlds too.
one. Yeah,
Not Wilds.
did I say Wilds? Oh, geez,
We
the
always
Outer
do.
Worlds
Everybody does.
too. And obviously not Sony, but it seems like World of Warcraft Midnight is going to be the trailer is going to be dropping or
that what
gameplay
it's
is going to be
called?
dropping. Yes, it's the second expansion, part of this trio of expansions that they've been running. I
For which
am
game?
a bad person to talk about it. What World of Warcraft?
Really? That's so surprising because I
Yes.
think BlizzCon is back this year, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I can't remember the last time Blizzard made a expansion announcement in a BlizzCon year that wasn't at BlizzCon. So that's pretty shocking.
Yeah, that does seem really strange to me. Like I wonder what they're going to be showing. I'm trying to look into it, but those are the anticipated ones. It also seems like there's a Silent Hill game that might be mentioned. Silent Hill F is what it's
Yeah.
being referred to. So that's exciting.
I'm kind of curious to
Hopefully
see
it
if
doesn't
we'll see
suck like the last
Battlefield.
one.
Anything new at Battlefield? When I was involved in the last 3 Battlefield launches on the PR side. Historically, they don't really make any major announcements at Gamescom for the game. I know for like 2042, we dropped that like kind of like live actiony, not live action, but like the video, like the narrative video in August. I don't remember if it was at Gamescom, but it didn't have anything to do with the game really. It was just like it was context around one of the modes, but it wasn't like new features, right? So I'll be
Do
surprised
you
if
think
Battlefield announces anything, or if EA announces anything really new at Gamescom for Battlefield.
what do you think about they said there's gonna be a campaign but hasn't announced anything about it. What about like a campaign trailer?
That'd be good.
We might. They also did the betas like a little early because the game comes out in what, November,
October.
October. So
To give them a little time to build it,
yeah, probably again like with
presumably.
2042, we did the beta in early September, and then the launches in October. So they're kind of moving ahead of schedule to what they normally do. But yeah, I mean, there's a chance we might see a single player or the single player trailer for sure.
That'd be really cool. Yeah. I mean, I've been enjoying the gameplay so far, but I'm more of a single player fan anyway, so I'd really enjoy that
If
part
I
of the
was
game.
if I was EA right now though, with how much hype there is around the game, I would absolutely not be showing it at Gamescom because there is so much noise at Gamescom where Battlefield is so hyped that it doesn't need to share the spotlight right now. Like it can do this on a random Tuesday and just dominate the day's coverage. Everything is just about Battlefield. So why do it during
Mm.
Gamescom and be a small slice of all these other pieces of news coming out when you can just do it in 2 weeks in the middle of like the second week of September, and that whole like couple days is just completely owned by you now. So
Well, that's definitely has some potential to be cool. However, I think the biggest news is, and probably the most unbelievable news, is that we're going to be having a playable demo of Hollow Knight Silksong at
I
Gamescon
believe it
this
when I
I
year.
see it.
believe it.
Jeff
Yeah,
Keighley posted a selfie of him wearing a clown nose, which is kind of like a meme that's associated with the game because it's never coming out, and I guess it finally is. We'll see.
I
We'll
remember it was
see.
supposed to originally be just a DLC. It wasn't even supposed to be a full game, and then they were like, "Well, it got too big, so we were going to make it its own game." Well, you'd
I didn't
presumably
even
think,
realize it wasn't a DLC anymore, to be honest.
yeah, that was a standalone game. But
Oh wow.
it's like God, like how big did they go? They've been
Yeah.
doing this, but
So the question is, has Silksong taken so long and there's been so much anticipation for it? Has it created a scenario for itself where it will be impossible to meet the expectations that people have for it?
Yes.
I mean, I think that's always going to happen to a certain degree, but because expectations are dangerous. Because the minute you have an expectation, it's going to be broken. But it's like going to a movie that you have a high expectation for versus a low expectation. You're more critical on it. So, do I think that they're going to take a hit? Yes. Do I think their sales are going to be through the roof? Yes. Do I think generally people are? I mean, I haven't seen anything about it, so I can't say for sure. But let's just assume it's similar quality as the original. Like, I'm sure it'll do well. I
I
don't.
Yeah.
think
I
it
don't
will
think it's
sell
gonna like.
well, but is it going to review well? That's the question. I mean, at the end of the day, they probably don't care at that point, right? Well, that's not true. Like developers definitely care. Like developers care. Pushers maybe not as much because they're getting their cut, but developers definitely want their games to be loved, right? Like there's like that's like a
Yeah.
lot of blood, sweat, and tears. Um, yeah, I don't know. Like I said, and I disagree with you. By the way, I think like people do get excited for games. Obviously, and they'll be disappointed if it's bad. This
Which part?
like that like there will always potentially be like some people let down, where like it
Yeah.
doesn't meet expectations. But I think that with Silksong, it's been so long of like teases and questions and that like it's on just like 12 out of 10 like volume where like
Yeah. Somebody. Yeah. But I mean, It would have to. I think it'd have to be pretty bad. Honestly, like their formula is like a safe formula. It's a small roguelike 2D hack and slash game. Is if they kept it exactly the same as the original with just more different places, different character, different bosses, they would hit. They would hit. You know, like as long as they're not like totally fucking it up, which I kind of don't think they're gonna do. Uh, I think they're gonna be fine. You
I
know,
actually think that
but
if it doesn't
yeah, I get what
offer
you're
some
saying.
kind of new innovation, that people are going to be upset because, as someone again who's worked on multiple battlefields and battlefronts, like the most annoying shit ever is like it's just a reskin of
It's
of
the same.
yeah, it's the
Yeah,
same. So I think that if this game was an expansion or DLC, this game came out 3 months after announcement or a year after the original, and it was just more of the same, I think people would eat it up. But that's not what this is now. Like, there's going to be high expectations that this took so fucking long because it is going to blow me away and change the formula for this type of game. That's what I think
Yeah.
they're walking into in terms of expectations. It's like Skull and
hopefully
Bones.
not.
Like Skull and Bones, right? It took so fucking
Yeah,
long, so talked about for so
Yeah.
long that game was never going to live up to expectations.
Never had the
yeah,
chance.
but that was also the first. It wasn't like a sequel to an existing successful franchise.
That's
But
true.
But it's
I
the
get what you're saying.
it's the manifestation of like lingering, right? Or it's lingered for so long, and like you just get like more and more excited, and then once you finally hearing about it, you're like, it's finally here, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I'm just saying. I think that they're an uphill battle a little bit in terms of reception for the game, but I think it will sell extremely well.
We'll see, won't we? I mean, I'm just excited to see something. At this point, I never beat Hollow Knight, but I played it a lot and I thought it was a great game. But it was hard. It was really hard. So I never got there. But you know, I'm still excited to see this new game and, you know, like potentially you'll see some gameplay and see what's different or not or whatever. But I think the fans are gonna I think they're gonna be fine with it
They'll probably
regardless.
be happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, any other thoughts or games we want to talk about before we move on to questions?
I have one quick thing. Since we were talking about like Battlefield and stuff like that, I think it's okay to pre-order. I don't know why the internet it specifically has this big old hate against pre-orders, and I get it. I get where it's coming from. I get that you're like, don't give them your money before you see the game and do all these things. But there are certain games that I know I'm gonna buy no matter what, even if it comes out and it's kind of shitty. There's games that like I just want to play the campaign for, you know, just to check it off for my box. I'm gonna buy it and I'm gonna get the pre-orders for it. And I've been burned a few times, like with Starfield, I got burned, but I was gonna buy that one anyways, no matter how shitty it was,
I think it depends on a couple
even though it was on
things.
Game Pass for free. But
So I lean away from pre-orders, but I think if the pre-order incentives are really good, then maybe it makes sense. But I also think, you know, like we come into money at different times, right? So
totally,
if you think you're really gonna want this game and it's available, like, and like you got a little bit of disposable income right now, like pre-order it, because who knows, maybe that $80 isn't there in October because you blew a tire out in your car or whatever, so
yeah. And my point isn't that like I think you should or shouldn't pre-order. I just don't think that people online should be gatekeeping other people and shaming them for pre-ordering. I don't think that's okay. I think, you know, like you said, like people are in different financial situations. People have different likes. You know, what if you're just some dad who hasn't played video games in a long time? You're like, man, this one just really sparked something in me. I'm going to pre-order it. And then you go online and some guy's like, fuck yeah, those people that pre-order, don't pre-order, fuck you, all this shit. Like, no, that's childish. Like, if they want to pre-order, let them pre-order. You don't know their
that's
story.
just the internet, everybody wants to shit
I
on
know,
everybody that's not doing what
I
they're
have my
doing.
little corner on this podcast and I'm going to tell them they're stupid.
Yeah. I don't know if it's just the internet.
Yeah.
It's mostly the internet. But yeah, anyways, that was my my spiel.
So to bring us
Done.
back really quickly to like the catch a predator thing, like to take the slippery slope all the way to the bottom of the hill, and I actually wouldn't be that upset with this, frankly. But I mean, it's like does it get to the point where like anonymous profiles on the internet no longer exist? Like on Twitter, you have to have your name, like
I
age,
mean,
like
that's probably where we're
license.
going as a society.
Yeah, and I'd be
Honestly,
fine with that.
Well,
I think that
dead internet theory.
if we actually created a system where it was mandatory to have your real name and you had to verify it with like a license and photo and all that to use like Twitter. I don't know if I froze, but I was like, you guys haven't moved for like 10 seconds. Am I frozen? But if that was the case, I think we would see a significant drop in toxicity and discourse on the internet. I think people right now feel empowered to be
Yeah.
nasty because they don't think there's any ramifications or consequences for their actions.
I mean, that's true, but I think that people are nasty, anonymous or not. I mean, yeah, so like Reddit's anonymous, but like X, Twitter is not, right? Like, I don't think it matters. People are shitty. It's just like if there's nobody in
100%.
front of you that you can like punch you in the face, then I mean, truly anonymous.
I mean, I'll
yeah,
tell you, iRacing uses your real name information. Yes, you can probably fake it, but iRacing does use your first and last name. And to be honest, like people are still super toxic. So I
yeah,
don't know.
it's the fact that somebody can't reach through the game and punch you in the face, right? Like, and I don't mean that you should be punching people in the face, but I'm saying there's like no actual implied threat of like, hey, I'm gonna say something super rude, and there's nothing you can do about it because I'm over here. So I think that's part of. You're on the podcast. Arthur should be on the podcast more.
I know. Arthur, what do you think about Roblox? Yeah, I just think, yeah, like it's wild to me on like Instagram when like someone posts a photo, and Alex, you've obviously dealt with this with Emily, where it's just like so many weirdos are just so okay like commenting on
Yeah,
photos or like,
send
so
me your
baby
socks.
looking for a real man, or whatever, and it's like,
People message me.
doesn't
I didn't even post it.
people see this? Like, how are you okay with being such a creeper on the fucking internet like that? It's such weird behavior.
Yeah, it's
definitely.
people.
It's always like a
people are-
55-year-old guy with sunglasses on too.
Yeah,
All right,
The
cool.
internet is a
Well,
weird place.
let's hop over to our questions. We still have some time here. We actually do have some questions, which is really awesome. Thanks everyone for writing in. I think probably take them a little bit at a time. We actually got 2 today, which is awesome. So thank you for submitting those.
Nice.
But I'm going to read this one to start. My cat. Okay. This one is from Ralph. Ralph, thanks for writing back in. We really appreciate you. Oh, before we get into questions, though, let me just take a little side tangent and say if you like what we're doing, please go ahead. If you're on YouTube, please like, subscribe, and throw a comment. We really are trying to push the algorithm right now, so we'd really appreciate it. And tell us what you want to hear. Just as always, if you have questions and you want them to be read at the end of the show, like we're doing right now, you can submit those questions to pixelatedrealms.org/ask, or you can put your questions in the comments of YouTube and we will read them now. So we're going to do that. So Ralph, coming back at us, one of our best question writers of all time. Regarding the Steam on Xbox news, there are a ton of Steam games that don't have controller support. Either a lot of games will need to provide controller support or a lot of games won't be playable on Xbox. Your thoughts? My guess would be that they are not going to allow those games to work. So it has to have controller support to work.
Yeah, I think I'm sticking with what we were talking about before, where I think it's going to be like you're going to stream from your Xbox to your like Steam. It's not going to actually be like native, which is how they're going to get around all this like licensing stuff that they're going to run into.
Yeah, I'd guess you're right.
Because the licensing on that's just going to be a nightmare. So they're just going to be like, they're going to be like, we're not going to deal with it. And it's because it's streaming from your computer, right? Like, I still think you're going to need like your computer or something. I think it's just going to just connect and let you tunnel in through your Xbox.
Yeah, I agree.
Cool. Yeah. So we'll have to wait till we see more on that one, Ralph. Okay. One more question for now. And then we'll save the rest for later, or it depends on how we go. So this one is from Patrick. Thank you, Uncle Patrick, for writing in. Hey guys, glad to see and hear you're back. As we were kind of on hiatus when Summer Games Fest stuff was being released. Any updates on what you are excited to drop? On what you are excited for to drop this fall, end of year? I haven't really been paying attention, so I
Yes.
just don't know for me if it's Final Fantasy Tactics. Sorry, the thing's a little weird. Ivalice Chronicles, or Battlefield 6. Those two alone are hundreds of hours of potential. Bit of a long story here. This past summer, I've been playing a lot of Elder Scrolls 4, Oblivion, again, since the remastered was released last spring. I've forgotten how much I enjoyed running around Cryodil and exploring the many little stories and side quests that make the world feel so fleshed out. I remember the first time I played the game and had gotten through the tutorial and prologue, and then immediately went up north where I encountered invisible enemies and townsfolk. I was constantly being attacked by wolves I couldn't see, and nothing I did would make the character model load. Thinking my game was glitched, I quit playing for years. This is until you guys forced me to play it on your Xbox 360 at Grandma Salerno's. You knew I would love the game and were flabbergasted that I never got into it. Turns out my first playthrough, I encountered a side quest where a wizard turned everyone in the area invisible. The game wasn't glitched. Well, it was, as many glitches, as it had many glitches, but those give it its charm, I guess. So anyway, I wanted to thank you for forcing me to play Oblivion all those years ago. I've wasted hundreds of hours over several Elder Scroll games now, thanks to you guys. As always, keep it up. So,
Nice.
no,
I
thank
totally
you. That was an
forgot
awesome
about that.
story. Yeah, I
Well,
definitely
actually,
forgot
yeah.
about
I
that.
mean, I didn't know that was the reason why you're still playing, but it's been a long time. But that's awesome. There's a lot of good games coming, and Elder
So
Scrolls.
yeah, the
is such a
question
fun
is,
game.
good games coming up in the fall
Yes.
and end of the year.
We got a lot of them coming in. So we have Borderlands 4 coming in on the 12th. We have Hell Is Us 2 coming in, I think the 20th or something, like the later next month, so in September. And then we have Battlefield 6, 6 coming in October. So we have a lot of good stuff. Not including all the other like random games that are going to come out as well.
Yeah, Ghost of Yotai, October 2025.
It's that soon. Hell yeah. October.
Yeah, that's pretty
2nd.
wild. I mean, yeah, for me, and of course, the only one I'm going to reference for you, Patrick, is Final Fantasy Tactics, of course, because without you, I would have never known that game. So that's going to be my most excited one for sure. I hope I like Borderlands 4. GTA 5 is also coming out, although we'll see.
Next year.
Or sorry, GTA 6. GTA 6.
I know, yeah.
Yeah.
They did push it back to next year.
Yeah. So we'll see. Lots of good games coming out, though. So I'm trying to find like more indie games, smaller games, ones I can play in less than like 20 hours. So
if you're an indie game,
we'll be on the lookout.
like savvy person, write in and tell us what indie games we should be playing because we don't know. Or if you're even, if you're an indie studio and you want us to talk about your shit, we will.
Raiders of Blackville coming winter 2025.
There you go. From the developer himself.
No, PR person.
Part of the team who brought you the game. Well, great.
Cool.
Anything else we want to end with here, or
y'all should play Satisfactory? The game is fucking addicting. Anyways, that was my plug. See ya from me.
All right,
not from Tyler.
As always, here at the Pixelated Realms, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time. Bye bye.